What's up, guys? I'm Anna.
I'm Christina, and welcome to The Sample Effect.
This is going to be a collection of stories that explore the people, places, and things that make our culture what it is. We'll also discuss the challenges of being original in a time full of creatives.
Through this series, we'll be sitting down with some dope people who would give us insight on their creative journeys, as well as mini tutorials on how they do what they do.
For this episode, we take you with us for our first Miami Art Basel experience. Keep watching to see what we got up to and who we got to chop it up with. Okay, do we overpack or? Oh, our bathroom is so cute.
We attended the Four Seasons Pop Down in a super yacht amongst movers and shakers in the art, fashion, and business scene. Think Hermes floors, Questlove on the ones and twos, and more Michelin star chefs than we could have ever imagined. Then we kicked it with JuWorkingOnProjects at his first art exhibit in Wynwood.
After that, we sat with IshTraore of Coral Studios to talk through his collab with Nike and what Art Basel means for artists.
I'm a multifaceted artist from Southside Chicago. My journey began following a second injury in college. I went to college on a football scholarship. In lieu of the adversity, my art started to improve. And so I remember distinctly selling an art piece to a classmate who was older than me immediately after a critique. So I got an A on the assignment, and then I made $295. Now you're in college, that's like $295,000. So I was extremely inspired, and I was like, yo, I think this is what I'm here to do. When the avocado doesn't start to ripen until you take it from its source. So it doesn't even come to full fruition until it's removed from, it has to be displaced. But when you open an avocado, you don't wait to eat it. Why? Because it gets brown, right? Same way, you shouldn't wait for opportunities, because it's that much harder to salvage, So like that avocado green is symbolic of taking advantage of opportunities and eating your avocados, you know what I'm saying? So like you see a person walk down the street and right there it's a bag of avocados I painted. It's like you see somebody walk down the street with a bag of avocados, they're going to a party, right? Yeah. And he must have spent come on now, you spent at least $100, maybe more. That's some nice guacamole right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of levels to it. And when I created that symbolism, and I like to, it's a reoccurring design in my stuff. It just reminds me to like oftentimes I might get complacent. I'm like, take advantage of these opportunities. When I see kids drawing inspiration from my work, I find it incredibly inspiring. Because I was once that kid. I remember in MySpace days, I had a big homie who used to paint on clothes. I used to print all his shirts out, and then we sprawl against the bed, right? And I'd be like, alright, bet. Yeah, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna paint just like this. And I painted like that until I found my own style. So it's a stepping stone, and so I don't see it as anything other than me before. And I just really I would say my advice to younger creatives, I'm 27 years old. So I would say my advice to young creatives, don't take that for granted. If somebody is saying your work is nice, your work is nice. Who goes out giving compliments willy-nilly? I definitely don't. So I would hope that you would appreciate my compliment and not be like, oh, he's just saying that because I'm not. Because I'm an athlete first, I'm competitive, so I like to, anything I'm associated with, I want it to be the best. I'm trying to win. My mom always taught me, if you can't do something right, don't do it at all. I remember cleaning the bathroom, she'd run her fingers behind the toilet, she'd be like, you're not going out. And that just teaching me to follow through with stuff and execute it to my, the greatest detail, the most finite detail. She's taught me how it translates into my work, because she writes calligraphy, I get my handwriting from her. Some of them are encased in cement.
Yeah, like it's a very minimal style. Like as an artist, I know one of the hardest parts is like knowing when to stop. So when do you know to stop?
Well, less is still more. But when I moved out to Oregon, I didn't have money. I moved out with $100 in my pocket. So I didn't have money for paint. So I was like, how do I create a design that's minimalistic enough that I'll be able to spend as few on supplies and then be able to make such a great, tasteful design and then turn a profit. So these are $100 canvases. So I can't mess up. If you imagine, like, if I mess up the swoosh, I hand paint the swoosh. That right there created value. And then the element that each swoosh is hand painted makes each shoe a one-of-one. I can't paint the swoosh the same each time. Everybody that I met at Nike, their journey to Nike was different. And so for me, I was like, yo, this is me painting my way to Nike as a freelance fine artist. It's not on top of the leather swoosh because I don't work for Nike, I work in and around Nike. The design is deliberately whimsical. I really try to be the artist that I would want to look up to. Good, bad, or indifferent. I would want the artist I look up to the stunt. Inspire me, you know. I would want him to take a little bit of time out and sit and talk to me. If he could tell that I was really serious. Like, I would want him to be like, man, I'm gonna sacrifice going to the club for a little bit because I might like meet a little homie or something, and somebody might be like, oh, I needed to hear this today. It's tough for me at times because I do take my art as personal. It's like I don't do this for, this is the only thing I'm good at. I play football, that was what I enjoyed. I love to read, and then it's art. So I get up at 5 in the morning, I'm thinking about art. Even with that, everybody else getting up at what, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? By then I got 5 hours already. I got through my worst ideas in that 5 hour span. I just treat that like being an athlete. Like, you know, Kobe, he'd be in the gym. I'm in the gym, that's how, like I just I treat creativity and art like athletics. Making good work and sharing it with people is what's most important to me.
Give us a little backstory, who you are, what you do, and why you're here at Basel.
I'm IshTraore. I'm one half of Coral Studios. I'm 28. I've been doing this since I was probably like 13, 14, and doing it meaning just consuming every day artifacts, sneakers, information about the backstories of things, everything. I'm a child of tinker. I treat Art Basel like the playoffs. Well, Art Basel is like where you really get to stretch your stuff if you really killed it all year. Coral Studios, the name derives from the coral reef. It hosts the biggest concentration of life forms in the ocean, and most people don't know that. And I wanted my company to be like that, where we host the biggest concentration of creatives without everyone knowing us. So I wanted to fall in line in that pocket based off where I'm from. I'm from Harlem, so like there's nothing special about waking up and having something expensive on or something, because it's about who you are. So I've always wanted the work to show more than the accolades of being cool, the perks. The perks are useless without the work ethic, and that's how you have a long staying power. With the shoe, it was a situation where I played with it and made it fluorescent like the coral reef, the seafoam green, the light water going all the way to the pitch black, where places we've never even been. It's funny, and then the fluorescent colors on the laces. It's a real story, so what we really did that a lot of people would never do, especially in New York where I'm based at, is turn off their ego, put it on airplane mode, and work for people on an NDA term. But we want to work on the best projects, and we don't care if people are in it or not, or if they know that we had anything to do with it. So with that came consulting, strategic marketing, tech packing, everything in between. I've been wanting to do what I'm doing right now for a living since I was like 14 years old. So this is not something that's easily obtainable, it just isn't. You have to really want it. Outside of Miami, it's purgatory for a creative. It's really not much to do here unless you have a community of people that you're gonna link up with every day, or at least twice, 3 times a week, to keep your desires flourishing. So when I got the opportunity to start my own company, I was like, well, this is gonna determine who I really am as a person, simple. I'm not gonna run away from that. The point is that you're a creative as well. So it's not always up to you to give your energy to another creative. Sometimes you have to go far away. You have to go to Neptune and make a whole constellation for people to see you, and then for people to realize, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to work with this person rather than this person work for me. I really think the highlight is something that's so muted. Is Nike hits me up, they're like 9 in the morning. I don't wake up at 9, so that's a big deal for me. They're like, you know, Ish, what's up? We need your shoe in a size 12 for Virgil. And I'm like, I don't got it. I don't know. I mean, it was like they were going at that time, you know? I'm like, you're Nike, make it happen. It was a situation where we had to literally Uber the shoe from Philadelphia all the way to the Nike offices, and they gave it to Virgil. And he was just like, thanks. And amongst our peers and amongst them, he was like, yo, this is all I need. I don't need any other shoes from you guys. Thank you. For someone that had basically a chokehold on the consumers and consumer education for 2 years, to feel like this shoe worked on him that much, that just shows from the days of not eating sometimes, from the days of looking at idols and people that we put on pedestals, and just to finally make it to where they're at and have them appreciate what you do. And also LeBron, because like I used to wear a lot of his shoes. I got fired from my job on my day off, and I worked at Checkers. I was 16 years old, worked at Checkers. I know I just switched gears real fast, but worked at Checkers, got my last paycheck. He was like, you know you fired, right? I'm like, so fucking what? And I got on a bus, went to the mall and bought a pair of LeBron 4s. And now, 2018, he's walking on court and he's wearing the shoe, and he also broke a record in it. I think he passed Will Chamberlain that night. So that was like, that's definitely an achievement. That's something that'll make your mom smile. Definitely.
Crazy full circle story.
Yeah, hell yeah. Full circle indeed.
Can you pinpoint a moment where everything changed?
Yes, everything changed when I stopped caring about what people who already have more than me are doing and started queuing in on what I can do for myself and my environment. During Art Basel, many people love to see art in different forms. I do own art, but what I am into is interactive spaces that make people form an opinion / decision on something, and I'm into that. Everyone should interpret art however they want to. For me, I don't even interpret it the way they see it. The way I see it is like life has many shots. Some shots you shoot, some shots are easy, maybe some are fleeting, but at the end of the day, life goes on. That's why it spins. So maybe you want to shoot at the top and you feel like that's your trajectory. Maybe you want to take the low-hanging fruit because that's how you need to do it out of necessity, you know? Maybe you got to take a job at H&M at some point in life because you're not able to work at Barney's, you know? There's been times where I got a job and I couldn't afford to have that job. Art Basel is going to always have its magic, and now I could tell we're going into like a new era of Art Basel where it's definitely about the art and it's definitely about leftover verbiage that people wasn't able to get across throughout the year. So it's like that one last stamp.
We also learned a couple things about how to navigate Art Basel, so next year we'll know what's up.
If you're vlogging, record everything and do your research. There's a lot to see in just one weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and were able to find some inspiration from the artists we got to meet. We'll see you at our next episode, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Sample Effect.